Hi, library science students. I want to go through how to do the collections recommendations assignment. You're going to be working on this for the rest of the year. The purpose of this assignment is to give you the power to determine which donated books we add to the library and which we put on the free bookshelf. Start by doing the ED puzzle related to collection development decisions first. It's a reminder about the issues we need to consider even if the book we're putting in the library has been donated. In the case of these titles, they are books that we have gotten for free, but there are still costs associated with creating the spine labels, laminating the covers, and then the cost of my time as the librarian of cataloging the titles. There are 3 resources you will use to support your recommendation. The genre survey and assignments sheet. The February 10 collection analysis, tidal wave, and make sure you log in as library science students. You can find that login right there. And then the library science recommendations. So I will have a list for you to consider for this week, but I want to go through it with you first. So I would go to Elysium Girls, Control C, Control V, so that we can now find the Elysium Girls. It's got fantasy as a learning focus. The thing that I'm going to be most interested in, though, is the reviews and awards. So I'm going to go ahead and click on those. And I'm going to read all 4 of the full text reviews. Remember, I'm going to start with School Library Journal, grades 9 and up. Once a grass-filled landscape, Elysium is now a lackluster desert, defenseless against the strong winds in the area. The apocalyptic nature of the world is established with the story opening on Black Sunday, a day historically referring to one of the most severe dust storms. It is in the middle of this upheaval that Sal Wilkerson introduces readers to the community's history. They received the message that they'd been chosen by the goddesses of life and death as pawns in their 10-year game of survival. If they can repair the mistakes brought on from their misuse of the land and eliminate the social barriers of race, gender, and class differences, their society will be deemed responsible and allowed to continue living in their rejuvenated state of happiness. Otherwise, they will lose and death will win. Utilizing alternating viewpoints of a diverse array of characters from Latinx, Indigenous, and Black populations, Pentecost creates a gallery of rounded and complex personalities. Readers who enjoy apocalypse-infused danger will enjoy this neo-westernized dystopian world filled with the good and evil magic of witches and demons, LGBTQ romance, steampunked mechanics, and hero moments. Verdict: recommended as an additional title selection to fill out dystopian and/or retrofuturistic sci-fi. The word additional is particularly useful. First purchase refers to books that you really want to have for your library. If you've got a big budget or a little budget, first purchase are the ones you get first. Additional are books that are good, but they're books that you would buy if you had money left over, not necessarily the first. The next thing I'll do is I'll come and I'll take a look at what Kirkus Reviews has to say. And I'm going to look at particularly the last couple of sentences because for Kirkus Reviews, that'll be similar to the verdict. Though the book tackles themes of intersectional feminism and what it means to build a more just world, big reveals and climactic moments often feel perfunctory and rushed, leading at times to awkward pacing. Sal is white, her best friend is black, the supporting cast includes Mexican American and Native characters, and there is a same-sex romance. A not always successful gender bender that is sure to find a niche, and that kind of fits with its additional. So now we're going to take a look at the genre survey and assignments. And if we look at sci-fi dystopia, About a quarter of our population likes it. It looks like this might nudge into horror, so 45% like that, and about 40% of our students like fantasy. So this one actually may have some merit. I'm going to look at the collection analysis just to see the size of my collection. And as I'm looking, my fantasy section is pretty big at 532. My sci-fi and dystopia has kind of been trimmed down. It's 333. I think that one might be a maybe. The cover is going to be cool, and the fact that we've got students who are particularly looking for characters that have got a wider range of gender identity might make this something that would be worth getting and adding. So I am going to go ahead and say yes. You can go ahead and look at it and say, no. The other thing you need to know is that these titles are going to be available for you to look at in person. So that will be another way for you to take a look, and you might want to read the first couple of pages and determine, is that something that you think students would be interested in or no. You're going to use the drop-down menu. You can tell us, yes, we should. You also can let us know if we should have multiple copies of the book. If you accidentally make a mistake and enter something that you shouldn't, just delete and you should be, or backspace, and you should be good to go. You'll notice that we've got a tally that is going along the side, and that's going to make the determination of whether or not we add this to our library. You won't turn in this assignment. Every week I will add books to the list. You will get 2 points for each recommendation. Make sure that you are able to support your recommendation with information about the reviews and what we need.